This week's episode is dedicated in memory of my grandfather. It's his yard site today. In many ways, what he stood for is what we're going to talk about. In this week's Torah portion, we learn about the death of our first matriarch, Sarah. And the Torah portion says something so interesting. It says that Sarah lived 100 years, 20 years, and 7 years. And all the commentators ask, well, just say 127. What's 120 and 7? And there's a rabbi named Rabbi Yosef Dov Soloveitchik, and he gave a beautiful, brilliant answer that is really applicable to our lives. Here's what he says. He says that the reason why the Torah split up 127 is because it's trying to teach us that each of these things means something, and Sarah had them all throughout her whole life. 7 is sort of the age that represents innocence. By the time you're 7, you still see the world with these big eyes. You're just slowly walking into school. You're slowly learning about life. And so 7 represents this concept of approaching the world with excitement, enthusiasm, interest, wonder, amazement. That's what little kids have. They're excited to get on airplanes. They believe everything. You say, do it, and this will happen. They do it. They're not jaded. They haven't done everything already. They still skip and run. They don't just drag their feet when you ask them for something. 20 represents strength. You want to take on the world. You're young enough to be an idealist and have all the energy you need to make it happen. You think that it is sheer will and will alone that'll take you to your dreams, and you're willing to put in the efforts because you're 20. So you eat what you want, you sleep as long as you want, you work as hard as you want. You're 20 years old. You're immortal. The excitement of what you can accomplish, the dreams and the dedication to pursue your dreams. 100 represents wisdom, age, experience. You've learned. You failed. You know what's a good idea and a bad idea. You have tempered enthusiasm for projects and ideas that you've heard 100 times. You've lived a full life at 100. So you have wisdom. The combination of innocence, of strength, and of wisdom usually never go together. Because as somebody graduates, they forget who they were. The 7-year-old forgets how to be innocent when they hit 20. And the 20-year-old forgets how to be idealistic when they hit 100. This week's Torah portion says Sarah never forgot. She just added. She never lost her innocence. She never stopped looking at the world with wonder and amazement. Even when she was 100, she was still 7. She never lost her idealism. She never lost her strength and her ability and her willingness to work hard. Even when she was 100, she was still 20. But she also always had wisdom. And however old she was, she thought and worked on experience and was able to balance these 3 concepts. And it's a lesson for us. Because sometimes in life, as we grow in stage, we lose the earlier stages. As we grow in wisdom and experience, we lose our idealism. We lose our innocence. We lose the bright eyes that look at the world. We've been there, we've done that, we've seen it already. And Sarah teaches us to fight, to remember who you are, to fight to be a person of experience and a person of idealism, to be a person of enthusiasm and a person of innocence, and to have innocence and strength with experience. That's greatness. To grow, but to never forget who you are, and to take it and combine it. 120 and 7. I got to tell you, in many ways, that was my grandfather. He was enthusiastic until the last moments of his life. He was always with a wonder. He had so much experience. And so many other great people that we know. Maybe your grandparents, maybe your parents. That's our charge, to be like Sarah, our matriarch, to look at our lives and to never lose our innocence and our wonder, to never lose our idealism, but to always, always act with wisdom and to act with strength. Shabbat Shalom.